Hey everybody, Jim and Joshua here to talk about the new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. Here we go with our first shot of Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt from Parks and Rec. He's wearing a Walkman, an actual Sony Walkman.
And that'll come into play in a little bit.
Yeah, he's basically a human being who was abducted from Earth and grew up in outer space. Now he's a thief, and he's here to steal this item. You have a theory about this item?
Yeah, as I think you said before, that he's like a Han Solo, Indiana Jones type guy, and he's going after this object, this artifact. And in the other movies, the Infinity Stones, the Infinity Gems have been really important. So I think it's safe to assume this has either leads to one, or maybe there's one inside it, or something like that.
Right.
But he's not the only one after this. This is Koreth the Pursuer.
Koreth the Pursuer. He's played by Jamin Hunsu, who you guys know from a bunch of different movies, but also as the voice of Black Panther in the cartoon.
And he works for Thanos, we're thinking.
And we think that they have tracked Peter Quill to this planet, and they're you gotta love that they're not impressed by Star-Lord. Coming up here next, we have
Cool watch.
Yeah, nice piece of tech here. Here we go. This is Nova Corps. That is John C. Reilly as Roman Day, and you gotta love the Nova Corps gold helmet there on his desk.
Yeah, just the entire Nova Corps outfits. Like seeing this on camera for the first time is awesome.
They kind of seem like they're going to be the shield of outer space in this movie. Here we have basically the roll call. There's Drax the Destroyer, played by Dave Bautista, the wrestler. Why don't you tell the folks about the attributes there? He is, the trailer itself breaks down his crimes and what he's all about in the movie. But
let's see, we've got enhanced muscular structure, impact-resistant skin, augmented cellular regeneration, kind of like healing factor, like Wolverine, super strong.
And we're not even sure what species he is. He's an unknown species, and he's basically a badass. Now here we have Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana, and she's basically a sexy cyborg. She has ocular and respiratory implants. She has cybernetic appendages. And she has an enhanced neurological system, so she's smart and deadly, and she's the last of her species. So she don't muck with her, and she fights with a sword. Now here, Rocket Raccoon is going to be voiced by Bradley Cooper, of all people.
Yeah, and in the comics, he's just a raccoon who's pretty much pulled apart and put back together with like cybernetic enhancement. So he's got cybernetic skeletal structure, enhanced
enhanced phalange and metacarp. Basically, his bones and his cerebral, his everything. He's basically a cyborg squirrel at this point, and he's from Half-World. Right, sorry, Raccoon, and he's from Half-World. He's not an Earth raccoon.
And right there, if you pause right now, next to Associates, it's Groot, who we'll see in a sec. But also Lilla, who's another raccoon, who's sort of his romantic companion in the comics.
And I just, of all his many charges, some of which they rattle off in the trailer, I do kind of love that there's a raccoon out there wanted for 15 counts of arson. That's just ridiculously awesome. And he spits. He disdains authority. Here we have Groot, who is voiced by Vin Diesel. And he is a sentient tree being, basically, from Planet X. And he is, James Gunn, the director, has described Groot as being the only innocent in this band of thieves, thugs, and killers, and that he is deadly but incredibly sweet. And essentially, he seems like he's pretty much the Chewbacca to Rocket Raccoon's Han Solo, if you will. Or
innocent aside from those 3 counts of grievous bodily harm.
Look, he's like a 10-foot tall tree. Maybe he didn't mean to hurt them. Who knows? Coming up here, kind of love the Peter Quill flipping them the bird, and he has a translator implant in his neck, thus explaining why people seem to speak English in outer space. A nice little touch. And his crimes are actually... Oh, right there, before we talk about crimes, Tell us about his associate.
Yondu in the comics. He was a member of the original, like one of the founding members of the Guardians of the Galaxy. In this movie, he doesn't seem to be a part of the main team. We're thinking he's probably like a mentor of Peter Quill's of sorts.
Yeah, he's played by Michael Rooker from The Walking Dead, but has also worked with James Gunn a bunch of times on Slither and Super. And Yondu in the comics was the blue-skinned guy with the giant red mohawk.
Yeah, you can't miss him.
Yeah, I did see pictures of him on the set, and he didn't quite have that red mohawk like he has in the comics. So, but yeah, I kind of like this the Abbey Road shot here of them walking through. Right here, there's this alien mucking around with the Sony Walkman, and that is, as James Gunn has explained in interviews, that is Peter Quill's last, basically his umbilical cord, if you will, tethering him to the past, tethering him to Earth. He was a child of the 80s, and he's basically kind of trapped in time, so he still has a Walkman and a mixtape in there, and that's why Hooked on a Feeling is playing on his mixtape. And this might, looks like it is about to lead into the prison break. Why don't you tell people about this ship?
Here we have Star-Lord's ship, the Milano. You see on the wing on the right there.
And I'm assuming since he's a child of the 80s, it's named after Alyssa Milano. And then that planet below him is Xandar, which is Nova Corps' homeworld. We're going to see a bit more of the Milano in action a little later. Now, here we see Djimon Hounsou's Korath again, and we think that this rainy planet that he's landed on is the same one from the opening of the trailer, that they have essentially tracked Peter Quill here. Now, this is just so awesome.
This is the money shot. This is why this movie was made.
Rocket Raccoon on Groot's back somehow gets a machine gun in prison, and they blast their way out. I mean, come on. That is awesome. And you get to like that they make little uniforms even for the size of Rocket Raccoon. That's fantastic. There we go. A little, I wonder if,
A little something going on there.
Gamera and Peter Quill, who worked out for this movie. Before we talk about her, this is again Xandar, the Nova Corps homeworld, and the villain of the movie is Ronan the Accuser. We're going to see him in a minute, but it looks like Xandar is under attack. Nova Corps is under attack.
And that is Nebula, who is played by
Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan, who shaved her head for the role, as you can see. She's a mean pirate cyborg. In space pirate.
And she has ties to Thanos as well.
Yes, she does.
And she's also, I believe she's a mercenary and all that as well. So we're going to see her in action. But
yeah, it looks like she's got a Nova Corps guardsman there. There's a person in the back. It looks like, she's up to no good.
He's not having a good day on the job.
And if you actually go back there, you'll see on the logo, right there on the left, it says Tyven, which is...
I think it's
the name of the collector. His name's Tanelair Tyven. And as we'll see him in a second, but we saw him at the end of Thor: The Dark World. So it looks like his little storage facility is getting...
Yeah, you're going to love that he actually, like it's an actual company, has his stuff on there. I love that Gamera swings a sword. She keeps it old school. Great shot. I can't wait for this fight. This is going to be like the Darth Maul, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon fight, I think, of this movie.
And then right there, that's our first look at the villain,
Ronan the Accuser.
And you can tell because that's his signature hammer that he's holding there in his right hand.
And anybody bad enough to pick up Drax.
Yeah, so anyone could chokeslam Drax is
now,
badass.
James Gunn says that we're going to get a better look at Ronan in a future trailer a couple of months from now, but we should say that he's played by Lee Pace, who you guys might know as the Elven King and the Hobbit movies. And then let's just skip forward. There's our first look at Benicio del Toro in this movie as the Collector. As you said, he popped up at the end of Thor 2. He's pimping, can I say, I wish we could see who and what he has stored back there, but it's pretty cool in a bad guy sort of way. Let's go forward. You're going to love here the true Han Solo kind of stuff they're going for. Now, the spacecraft, this is Ronan's, let's see, they're called Necrocraft, according to James Gunn. So that's the name of the villainous spacecraft.
Oh, it's a sweet shot of Star-Lord in his mask.
Yeah. Ethan, this looks like the same rainy planet we saw before, but we're not entirely sure. And then this a-holes ad-lib is a great little sense of the humor that we're going to get in this movie. Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel's biggest gamble to date. It looks pretty sweet to us. It opens August 1st, so thanks for watching.